Welcome to the Soulish Podcast. My name is Whitney Apke and I am your host. On the Soulish Podcast, we talk all about the soul journey and everything in between. I bring on guests as well as have solo episodes like this one, all for the purpose of inspiring, uplifting, and encouraging you on yours. This episode is a part of a series called I Am Healed, and you can find the series if you're watching on YouTube under playlists. And I really felt called to share in my own personal health journey of having a tumor and having it removed and being on this journey of understanding of why my body even created it in the first place, how to make sure that my body doesn't create another one. And I finally, once I was out of kind of my cocoon phase of really working through the muck of my own shit that has been brought up in this journey, some of the things that I've had to face, like the victim mentality, for one, which is what we're going to discuss in this episode because it's key to like your journey, or anyone that you know that has had a terminal diagnosis or something similar, um, cancer, disease, or anything, right? Any ailment. Um, and so my desire is to not diagnose. My desire is to only offer the resources that I've discovered and tried. I am not a medical professional. I cannot give you medical advice, but I can simply just share my journey with you. And so that's my intention in hopes that it's helpful, supportive, and inspiring, encouraging to you. So here we go. So this episode is about that moment, right? Like pretty much immediately following that call. The process of dealing with the guilt, the shame, and the victim mentality that comes in, which really all of it is connected to this belief in the core, at least of myself, that something is wrong with me. And everyone has a journey around unworthiness, like a self-devaluation conflict of some sort, which is a German New Medicine term, which most disease or cancer or tumors of any kind, really any ailment that settles in the body, it stems a lot of the time from a self-devaluation conflict. And I found that fascinating. So I've become very aware of the unworthiness, this core belief inside of me that says that I'm unworthy, I'm not enough, something's wrong with me. And I had a deep-seated fear growing up, in Christianity and as a pastor's kid, that I would mess up, that I would sin, and then that would separate me from God, but that would also separate me from my family, from my church, from my friends, that I would disqualify myself. And as I went through ministry school, that got even worse. It just kind of stacked on itself. Of needing to be perfect, of needing to be flawless, of needing to be sinless. And with that self-devaluation conflict, it's so easy to compare yourself, whether it's to your sibling or to a best friend or to a colleague. It's really easy to feel like they're so much better than you and there's something wrong with you, especially if they have something that you desire in your life and they're living it and you don't have it. It's so easy to go into this woe is me, I'm not enough. I just can never amount to enough. And that is reemphasized in so many different ways for so many people at school and not feeling smart enough, not feeling like you can ever achieve anything. Maybe you were shamed by a teacher. I know I was shamed by several. So there's just, like life is going to continue to show us this. And it's really easy to have everything reflect back onto you instead of you understanding that life is giving you an opportunity to heal that wound. And so it's bringing up the situation again and again and again to you. One, because it's the energy that you're abiding in. So you're naturally going to attract circumstances that confirm the belief that you hold on to. But there's the other opportunity instead of reemphasizing the belief that you don't want, you can actually use it as a tool and an opportunity because nothing is hotter than like being triggered in the moment. Nothing is like ready to be sliced off you than, than in the moment when you are hot about it, when your energy is all in it and invested and you're feeling it again. So a lot of times, I love like Caroline Evans, Dr. Caroline Evans. She's I believe, oh gosh, I'm gonna ruin this, but she's a doctor of the brain. And I came across her work at least a decade or more ago. And she really helped me to come out of depression because every time I had a thought of something that just overthrew me into depression and sadness and hopelessness and just completely bottomed me out, I remembered her saying that the moment that you bring something up to the surface, even in the brain, you can change the chemical structure. You can't change the information, but you can change how you feel about it. You can change the overwhelm of the chemical structure that can happen, that it can trigger and pop off, and then connect to everything else that you can associate with that same emotion. And so when she said that, she was like, you can literally bring it up to the surface in the moment when you're feeling it the most. You can bring it up by meditation too, but it's just so much better when you're actually truly triggered and you can catch yourself in that. You can change the chemical structure just by choosing to release, to let go, to forgive, whatever that means, forgiving yourself, forgiving that person, because you forgiving them isn't letting them off the hook if they've done something, wronged you in some way, but it's freeing yourself truly. It's actually proven by science. So when I was introduced to her work, that was just such a different mindset shift because I had only ever known the wallowing and I had never known how to climb myself out of it. I just would wait it out and try to come up with an excuse to be happy again. I really tried, but I didn't have tools until I met her as far as like the brain space and how to help regenerate memories and heal memories that are really painful, situations, circumstances, breakups, anything. But the same is true for the body. And everything works, together harmoniously. So if you're feeling an emotion from a thought, it's going to also then manifest in your body. So all this to say, and bringing it back, when you have the belief that your body is your enemy, and that other people are your enemy, that the world is your enemy, you're going to experience that. And anything you do in life is just going to begin to confirm that. The deeper that that belief is that something is wrong with you, if you hold on to that belief, you're going to begin experiencing that something is wrong with you in a lot of ways, and that may be finances, that may be people in your life, that may be in your health, that may be in your relationships, that may be in, even business ventures and all of that. And just even your day-to-day life may begin to really reflect that in the way that people see you, perceive you, interact with you, all of it. You may just begin to experience that coming back at you and see everything as your enemy. Some people, when it rains, get really happy and want to go run out in the rain and dance. Some people, when it rains, get grumpy and sad and feel like they have to stay inside for the whole rest of the time until the, storm clears. It's really in your perspective of how you view life. You view that the rain is attacking you and ruining your day, right? Versus somebody that sees it as an opportunity to have fun and play and enjoy and soak it up. Just live in the moment and be in the moment and be free. Everyone has a different response, but it really boils down to core belief of how you view yourself and the world around you. And so I've worked with a lot of people. I've worked with a lot of people from many diverse backgrounds in their healing journey and connecting in with themselves. And so I had the extraordinary opportunity to do this for myself. And my journey with my physical appearance has been from the beginning, and I've talked a little bit about it on this podcast, from the beginning of me hitting puberty and maybe even a little bit before. Um, I just blossomed very young, and that put a target on my back, even more so because I was a pastor's kid and the senior pastor's kid. So I've always kind of had this feeling like, is something wrong with me? This question, from a very young age, like 9, 10, 11. Just that predisposition to believing something must be wrong with me has always been there from kind of very early age. So I can look back and see that as kind of like core memories, core situations where it was kind of beginning to be programmed into me, conditioned into me, whether on purpose or not blaming anyone for it. But I can see how also my disposition of being a people pleaser, of fawning, of also them being in this huge culture of being of service and then being pastor's kid and having to be performative and all of that, right? Don't get it wrong, get it right. I think that also had a lot to do with it. It was my soul chose the perfect setup to heal this, is how I see it. So it's just a beautiful setup. And so I'm telling you all of this background because I want to invite you into this process. Whether you have a terminal disease or not, or you've ever been diagnosed with anything, this is part of the core of the work that I do with people one on one. Is we go back, like when is the first time that you ever remember that phrase or ever remember that thought that something is wrong with you, you're not enough, or how do you know you're not beautiful? Like where did that ever come? Where were you ever told that you were never going to measure up, that you were a bad son, or would be a bad boy or bad man? Like, when did that core happen? What was that moment like? Or moments that re-emphasize that in you very young. And because you see it then play out, because as a kid, we're not taught this. I feel like the upcoming generations are being taught this, but we're not taught this, at least my generation. I'm from late 80s kid. We are not taught this, right? So we now have the opportunity though, and you can heal anything, and anything can be completely healed. You are not going to be broken for the rest of your life, or hurting for the rest of your life, or sick for the rest of your life. You can heal anything and live long and prosper. So that's where I want to get us to. But you have to see the belief that is basically the root of all thoughts, all emotions, and anything in your body that is not functioning properly, any emotion that is not supportive or helpful, any thought that is not supportive or helpful, right? Anything in the body that is not supportive or helpful. That all stems from a core belief. And because your body only knows one program, and if you're constantly telling it something is wrong, it's going to be expressing things that are wrong. But it's really interesting. I think one of the ways that I kind of came at this when I first was diagnosed, because it's one thing to be like, oh yeah, in German New Medicine, they say that everything, any disease or thing like that, ailment, rash, it's actually you're in the healing phase. Well, when you get the diagnosis that that was a huge tumor that was high grade pleomorphic, right? High mitosis, so splitting real fast, growing really fast. When you're told, that news, you really check yourself on, like, do I believe German New Medicine, or do I believe the Western route on something's wrong with me? Because in German New Medicine, it's the complete opposite. At least for sarcomas, it's the complete opposite. It's that you're in a healing phase, not a sick phase, not a conflict phase. And so I had to like really kind of sit with that. Like, what do I believe and what do I want to believe? But what may be true here? And I really need to see the truth of it all, right? I don't want to be fantastical, right? Or um, think that, change the reality as far as like not coming to terms with something or not acknowledging something or recognizing something. Like, I want to see with both of my eyes. But at the same time, is there a chance that something is not wrong with me and that I'm actually healing, So I think one of the things that came up immediately was the poor me. Poor Whitney. She's been fat all of her life, right? She's been sick, and sad and depressed and can't find a man and whatever the story is, right? I'm just plugging in, whatever it is. Poor Whitney. Poor little Whitney, who is alone in Colorado, suffering, alone. Nobody knows. It was a wonderful story that was beginning to be written. And in that moment, it was like, let's stop that. Let's then, you know, cross it out. Let's write a different story. Oh, we get an opportunity to heal. Oh, we get an opportunity to learn more about the body and the function and why this particular thing happened to me, why this particular thing grew, and how we can heal, how we can regenerate, how we can detox. What lifestyle do I want to live? Am I happy with the lifestyle that I currently live? Is there any way that I can improve my life and improve the enjoyment of my days, the enjoyment of my life? Am I enjoying my life? That's a good question. So I began asking a lot of questions, and then instead of having this woe is Whitney story, I changed it to a question, 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 and then embarking on finding the answers. Why am I not enjoying my life? Why am I not happy every day? Why do I wake up and groan and feel like I just got hit by a train, right? Why can't I seem to get out of bed? Do I feel strong in my body? Is there any part of me that hates myself? When I die, will I be proud of how I lived my life? Whenever that happens, I had to ask myself questions instead of writing a story that just felt so good, and woe is me, but gave me no resource, no out, no way out of this. It was just, oh, this is so sad. This is so bad. Oh my gosh, this is the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. Look, nobody will want me anymore. Look, will I even outlive my dog? Look, like I'll just die alone. Worst fear ever, right? Instead of that, I wanted answers, but I had to ask questions before getting answers because that's where it was going to lead me. So I started from that moment. I switched the victim mentality to a regardless of how long I live, because nothing is guaranteed. That is not the prerequisite of how I come at this. This is the length of my life is not the quality of my life. So, how long I live doesn't equal quality. Your life can be taken like that, and it can be the most quality life, and you can reincarnate a happy person, right? Like, man, I lived, but you can live a long, miserable life, right? So, length of life doesn't necessarily equal quality of life. But by having a quality life, for sure, can extend your length of life. So I had to kind of switch things up because my brain was going to how long do I have to live? What is the lifespan of somebody diagnosed with a sarcoma? Even though it was totally taken out of me, margins were good, everything, he got everything. It was actually kind of all in one anyway, and had its full shape, and it was in my fascia, so it wasn't adhered to anything anyway. So it was the perfect placement, perfect way of it being encapsulated and made separate from my body. The body's just a beautiful thing. So I think starting there, asking yourself when you hear yourself going into a woe is me, poor me, everyone hates me, no one is for me, life is against me, right? Nothing is happening for me. Like I just can't catch a break. Um, Nothing is going right. I can't find a job. No one will hire me, right? Something always happens with finances, always get the rug pulled out from under me. These are all stories like I've experienced. These are all moments that I've had in my life. And so I don't think that is actually the truth. I think that there is a core belief that you are a victim and that you aren't enough. And so everyone and everything is your enemy, including your own body, including your own self. So how do we heal this? One of the ways is that we start asking the questions that we need to ask in order to then embark on the journey of discovering the answers. And so for me, I realized just the simple things of sleep and quality of sleep and waking up feeling refreshed and energized and excited and ready to go. So that includes purpose. Am I happy doing what I'm doing every day? If that's a no, I need to change it. And it doesn't matter what it is. I don't care how much money I make. It doesn't matter. If I'm not enjoying the work I do and feel like I'm living my purpose every day, in what I'm doing every day, then I need to change it because that's going to also change my energy for getting up, and being excited about the day. I also need to figure out physically, why do I feel like I'm being hit by a train? no matter how healthy I eat or how much I detox or fast. It's like, why am I feeling like shit every morning? And feeling no energy and really struggling to get out of bed. I'm 37, and before this, before getting the diagnosis, I was 36. So it's like I'm mid 30s. I shouldn't be feeling this way. This is not right, and really, I think you should never feel this way. But I don't drink, I don't do drugs. Like, I eat healthy. Like, why do I feel like this, right? So clearly, the body is saying something, not enough sleep. I'm not getting the nutrients I need. I'm too stressed. It's a myriad of things to like figure it out. So I think that's one place to start. I immediately went into detoxing because I realized my body is bogged down. If my body is beginning to store stuff into a pocket that it can find or locate or feels is the best place, then clearly my body isn't able to rid itself of other things, right? So my body can't eat the cancer cells or the rogue cells. I like to call them rogue cells because cancer has energy on it that I don't really align with. It has a fear element to it that I don't agree with because it's not to be feared. Everyone has cancer cells in your body. So all cancer cells are rogue cells. They're cells that cannot communicate with any of the other cells. They're not dangerous. They just need to be healed. They just need to be regenerated. But how many thoughts do we have that escape us that are not, are like rogue thoughts, are not helpful, not supportive, and aren't in alignment with the energy that we want to cultivate in our lives, right? How many emotions for people or ourselves do we have that are not in alignment with love, that are not in alignment with valuing, who you are or who someone else is? And those thoughts get to go, right? And they get to escape, and those emotions go and come and go and, unchecked. Same thing with the cells in your body can go unchecked. And like anything, if you let a thought go and you consistently entertain that thought again and again and again, what happens? It becomes a habit, becomes a lifestyle, it becomes a destiny, a belief that you have about your life or yourself or other people or people groups, whatever, the government, whatever it is, could be anything. So, one of the core beliefs that I have that I've really kind of come to understand and see live in action during this entire journey is that wherever there is a need, there's a resource, and a no is a redirection to the resource. Because when my surgeon refused to give me a CT scan referral just so that I could see if I had any other sarcomas in my body, which in my opinion is malpractice, I was like, okay, there has to be a way. I tried getting my homeopath to write a referral. She had issues because she's not licensed to give them. And then it led me to another resource. I used Sesame. You can look that up. Literally spelt like Sesame Street. And I found Sesame, which is an amazing online platform filled with medical professionals that can give you tons of different kinds of referrals, MRI, CT scan, ultrasound, whatever you need. And I got connected with a doctor from New York who is amazing. One of the ways that I kind of came out of this victim mentality as well was realizing that the world is not against me, God is not against me, people are not against me. I realized in all the ways that I had experienced that, even within the 2024, I had a couple situations that happened that were like I felt victimized, right? For lack of a better word, and felt attacked or whatever. And this experience of coming from just focusing on the health, it branched out into different ways and to different perspectives or experiences that I had that were kind of rooted in the same mentality of victim. And so I just want to encourage you as you're on your health journey or mental health journey or emotional health journey, spiritual energetic health journey, whatever it is, use it as a tool and use everything in your life as a tool to help you heal that belief that you're not enough or that something is wrong with you. Because the truth is that you're divinely designed and you are perfect and whole and lacking nothing. And every need that you have, there's already a resource and it's already on its way. It's already orbiting you, as TBM. I love Lacey. Always talks about everything is already orbiting you. It's already in your sphere. If you've even ever had the thought of something, it's orbiting you already. It's just a matter of divine timing and when it's most supportive for you. So if you come at life with that belief, it kind of changes everything, literally everything. You go from victim to victor, disempowered to empowered, not enough to more than enough, and realizing that everything in life is meant to help you heal. It's a tool, same as any supplement or same as any health food or anything in life, any tool, treatment, infrared sauna, whatever it is. All of those tools are the same tools that life itself will bring you to help you to heal and come into wholeness and true vitality, true health, true love, and wholeness and healing. So that authentic self-expression that is so beautiful and so filled with light. And so in this journey, the first part of this journey that I've been on, which in later episodes I'm going to go through the actual modalities, German New Medicine as well, and kind of break those things down. But I felt like I've come out with it, and I felt like the first episode needed to be about this core piece because you can do all the treatments and you can go through radiation, chemo, whatever you go through, alternative, holistic treatments, or Western medicine, it does not matter. What matters most is what you believe. And if you believe that you're dying anyway, you may just experience that. If you believe that you're only going to get sicker, you may experience that. It's highly likely. But if you believe that you can heal, you may experience that. And if you believe that you're going to live a long, healthy, happy life, you may experience that. So it's really all about, what do you believe? And do you believe that everyone and everything, including yourself, is an enemy of yourself? Then you're going to experience that. If you believe and can heal that belief and use every moment that is triggering and popping off with different thoughts and emotions and experiences and doors slammed in your face and frustration, right? Of the journey, you still go, ah, cool. Thank you. Because I know that that's not where I need to be anyway. I was trying really hard to get through that door, just realized that's not the door I want. Thank you very much. I'm like going down the hallway, go and on to the next door, right? Because then you understand, got it. So that's not my person. Got it. So that's not my job. Got it. So that's not a treatment that is in alignment for me right now. Ah, got it. So that's not a doctor that I really want to continue on working with. It's instead of seeing it as a closed door, oh, another resource gone, I can't get my hands on it. I can't get any appointments in to see this person or whatever it is. If you constantly see life as it's not working for you and it's just constantly against you, you're going to continue to experience that. And that's so frustrating. I don't want that for any one of you. I really want you to experience feeling and seeing the magic that is swirling all around you as far as this opportunity that this life brings us to heal and to realize that we work with life, we flow with life. And actually, I'm going to end on this note. I'm going to go grab this card. I pulled this card the other day. I want to read it to you. All right. I have this card deck that I love. It's called the Wild and Sacred Feminine deck. Sorry, dudes. Um, and the other day I was sitting in meditation and praying and was like, let me just pull up a card. I haven't pulled a card in a while for myself. Let me just pull a card. Guess what card I pull? The surrender card. So it's like a river and it's like a woman flowing through a river with other fishies. And I was like, what better card could I get? So, and it puts river as a picture of surrender, which I think is so beautiful. And it says, you do not have to be a fire for every mountain blocking you. You could be a water and soft river your way to freedom too. And that literally is so exactly like the little bow on this episode. because that's literally been the journey for me, is learning to surrender, but not from a place of weakness, not from a place of disempowerment or victim, but surrendering, understanding that I'm a part of this. I am the river. I am this flow of life that I'm experiencing, and I am this experience in this physical body. I am this mental experience in my mind, right? In my emotions and in my energy, in my sleep, even in my dreams. All of that is a reality that I am existing and flowing with. And so there's this ease that comes to life. You're no longer duking it up, and keeping your dukes up against everyone and everything that comes at you is an attack to your safety, or is an attack to your peace or your love or your value, your purpose, your destiny. I used to think that a thought could literally disqualify me from my destiny, that I lost it. And for many years, I walked around feeling like such a failure because I wasn't experiencing the things that I wanted to experience in life. And I thought it's because I fucked up bad enough that I lost that. I lost that opportunity to have children. I lost that opportunity to have a loving partner. I lost that opportunity to be in ministry or to be of service in a big way, like I see so many people, so many of my even colleagues doing today. And that's just not true, you know? But that could be the reality that I could live in. That could be the core belief that I literally life just continues to give me. And this experience of having a sarcoma, or a accumulation of things that no longer support and serve me, that my body was basically putting in a place that it could, and getting rid of that, and then going on this health journey of seeing what is actually supportive and empowering myself with knowledge, asking the questions to get the answers, and going on a journey of discovery and surrendering to the journey, to the experience, as I get no's and yeses, and things don't work very well or they work amazing. Learning to be in tune to my body enough to know that even though this is a very helpful service, my body is actually not receptive to it right now. So I think also giving ourselves grace in the journey and not yet arriving, but being on the journey is so important, because then that doesn't make you a victim of anything, because you're constantly in the flow. You're not on the journey to arrive somewhere, you're on the journey to be in the journey. But life is going to bring us opportunities to heal the things that are holding us back from that, to heal the blockages. We don't have to be the fire that burns down the mountain, right? And so life is going to present you mountains again and again and go, look, you could just bend this way. You could just walk around this way. You could just see it and just marvel and enjoy the mountain, for what it is. You don't have to change it. You can just enjoy it, move through it, move around it, whatever it is. So I hope that this was helpful and inspiring to you while you're on your journey. I felt like this was such a core, because anything that I talk about going forward, it's really rooted in this. This is critical. This is foundational. And I honestly wouldn't be where I am on the journey if I continued believing that I'm a victim. I'd probably be sicker. I'd probably be creating another sarcoma if I just laid down and surrendered to the victim mentality. I would not be where I am today. So I love you guys truly. And please share, please like, please subscribe, please comment. I would love to hear your comments. Anything that is supportive, anything that is respectful and kind, I welcome. And I also have a free resource guide that is down below, linked below. And this free resource guide has every modality that I have been using thus far. I'm going to continue to update it as I go through different treatments or different modalities. But this is everything that I have used, that has been helpful. I give direct links to the things that I've purchased. I'm not an affiliate. It wouldn't really matter if I was, but I'm not an affiliate. I'm literally just doing this because I want to be a resource. And it took a lot of hours, weeks, time to discover these different things. Some things came very easy, and it was like a one-step connection to somebody mentioning something. And then others, it took a long time to get resources and find the right resource of it. And so I really wanted to speed up the process for somebody if they are going through something similar to myself and be helpful. So that guide is free. You can send that link to anyone that needs it. And the resource guide I think is great and super helpful and supportive. So I love you guys tons. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Soulish Podcast. Sending you so much love.